And this is really where pretty much by like 9:45, 10 a.m., you have a pretty good sense that buyers or sellers is in control for the day and they're maintaining control. We see it on the market breadth indicators. You see the number of advanced versus declines. It usually tends to have, 1,500, 2,000 stocks that are advancing or 1,500, 2,000 stocks that are declining and they're kind of staying there. If you look at tick, you see kind of pretty much it's always ticking, upwards or always ticking downwards. You look at, the amount of volume, the ratio of up versus down volume, it's kind of very extreme. Like I said, only about 5% of the days, 10% of the days, you're going to have this type of action. And you can identify that usually by about 9:45, 10 a.m. If you can be conservative and wait till 10:30-ish, to really get a sense for if buyers or sellers are maintaining control for that day. For example, I've seen in the morning, buyers had control, but they kind of lost it by about 10:30 or so. And at that point, you would have said, we're not getting that direction move. And certainly the price action in the first hour were very choppy. We just didn't go anywhere. And that was another signal that we weren't going to get this big trending day. But on big trending days, what you basically do is you basically open at the lows and close at the highs, or open at the highs and close at the lows. And basically it goes in one direction the whole day. We've all seen it in terms of, when we're trading, what types of days they are. They don't happen very often, but on those days, those are the days that you want to buy a call or buy a put. And specifically what you're buying is an out of the money call or an out of the money put. This is generally speaking, what you're doing is you're buying a 30 delta call. Typically, this will cost about $1 on SPY or about $10 on SPX. Just as a general rule of thumb, you're paying about $1 for these types of options. And what you're looking for is a big move that will continue into the expiration, right, into the decline. These strong momentum days tend to close at the highs or at the lows of the day. So these are also the types of strategies that you typically will hold into expiration. So for example, with SPY currently trading at 522, if let's say you were trading this type of strategy tomorrow, and let's say we get a really strong up day, you might look at buying in this particular case. I was looking at the 524s, which was a 32 delta for tomorrow, right? So we're looking at about that 30 delta strike price, and we're looking to buy that at the time right now. This is actually only 61 cents. VIX is obviously very low, so the premiums are quite inexpensive to buy these out of the money call options. And what you're looking for is, maybe a $3-4 move in SPY. And that's what's going to give you kind of that 61-cent option turning into a $3 option by expiration. And you could be looking at, a 4, 5, 600% return on your call option. Not often that does this happen, but when they do, this is really where you want to be positioned to hit home runs, right? You don't want to be collecting $53 in income per contract. You want to try to turn your $61 into $300-400 per contract. So you have to have your indicators set up ready to go and to identify these types of setups. You can do it through price action, but it's better to kind of have confirmation using these market breadth indicators to get a sense for if buyers or sellers have control for the day and maintaining that control. But if they do, usually by 10:30, you have a pretty good sense that, hey, buyers are maintaining control. Price action is continuing to move higher here. Let's pull the trigger and buy one of these out of the money options. And even by 10:30 a.m., it's not too late to pull the trigger on some of these, because a lot of times on these strong momentum days, you get that, 1.5% move to the upside, and it just happens all day long. Doesn't happen very often, but when it does, you want to make sure that you're positioned correctly. But vast majority of days, you are not going to use this strategy.